All right, hey folks, how you doing? Mike here again. But there was a question on, essentially what the triggers are for the short-term trading, and what I want to do is walk you through that, and I am recording this. So, okay, so the first thing that we even look at before we even look at a chart is this middle here, which has the volume alarm. A 1 means that the volume for this slice of time compared to the last 50 identical slices of time is higher. For example, let's look at the Russell here. Okay, we see that because this is 1, this bar is greater than the simple moving average of the last 50 periods. So that is telling me that something is happening under volume. If something happens and there's no volume to it, I don't care about it. Why? Because it can just turn around just as easily and go up on air if it went down, and down if it went up. Okay, so this is happening under volume. That's how it even gets to the list. Then I'm not even looking at the chart yet. I'm looking at these two indicators, the PFE and the DMI. What you're looking for, ideally you'd like these either both to be buried, this at negative 100, this at 0, or this at positive 100 and this at 100. As we see now, the DMI is at 9 and the PFE is at negative 27. Now, the PFE doesn't have to be buried. I want to see it going that way though, and I definitely want it to be either less than negative 50 or greater than 50. Right here, this is nothing. Now it just ticked down. Now it's actually negative 54, and this is at an 8. Still pretty weak. But let's just say that we do see something here. And let's go through these. So I'm not even looking at the chart. But we see this is locked up, this is locked down. That tells me there's nothing there. NXPI, or excuse me, CAT. Same thing. That's what we were looking at before. And since we are rolling into a new bar where the volumes are going away, but that's okay. We'll get a couple. Splunk. This is pinned up. This is pinned down. That tells me there's nothing there. And like I said, since we just rolled into a new bar, but in the Dow, this is pinned down. This is only negative 11. Okay, but let's pretend that this was down here. Now I'm going to look up here. The first thing that you're looking for here is you're looking for the 7 period. Here, first off, if you're looking for a sale, you are below the VWAP, which is the thick purple line. If you're looking for a buy, it has to be above the VWAP. So the price is below the VWAP, but we have not gotten the crossover here. This is the 7 period, this little thin purple line. What you need for that to do is to cross from above to below the 20 period, which is the dotted line here. So right here, this is nothing. It would have been nothing because the PFE is only negative 11. But it's nothing. Okay? So that's what I'm looking for. Let's see if, now that we're getting volumes rolling in here again. In NBEV, nothing there. Sonos, Netflix. So now this is buried, but this we see was lower, and now it's starting to tick higher. Now this has been basically straight down. So I would be looking at this, that everything, okay, we have the crossover here. We are below the PFE, but the thing is that this negative, this yellow line, that is the -2 standard deviation around the VWAP. And what we're seeing here is that we are just extended beyond that. Taking a signal below the VWAP, or below the -2 SD, or above the positive 2 SD, is risky, and especially when we've been open for nearly an hour and a half. First 15 minutes, 30 minutes of the day, I don't mind doing that because we really haven't defined ourselves yet. But by now, we kind of have the range, and I think that taking a short here, you'd be really, really extending yourself. Okay, let's take a look through some other stuff. Pfizer, both heading down, but we are above the VWAP, so nothing happening there. 10 core, KLAC 10 core, it's definitely looking down, but not really, not yet, not really compelling. Divergent on JD. Twitter, here's one in Twitter. This is something that we actually want to do. So we have the volume, we have the crossover, now we have a lean here, and everything is definitely going downish. So we're going to be looking at the February in Twitter. We're going to be looking at the February 31 half puts. Buy those at 63 cents. Okay, there's the chat, and I'm going to put it out in the banner. So not only are we getting a discussion on our short term, we actually had a signal come out during this. All right, they are 63.65 now. So now we want to, if we get in, I'm going to want to play this above the hull. If we can't hold the hull, we're going to stop ourselves out quickly, and we don't want to quite target the bottom of the 2SD, but towards the bottom. Now we are not in yet. 60 was the last trade, so that was before we put our signal out, and it's sitting there at 63.65 and not moving. So if we don't get ourselves to move, but everything is, I mean, it's classically setting itself up, that's for sure. But I'm going to wait for just a little bit and then cancel because I don't want to just be out here just sitting here. Okay, so those things, they're going to go 64 bids shortly because we just dropped a couple cents. Okay, so I canceled that. We did not do anything. 60 was still the last, and we are out. But that's exactly how we want one of those to set up. Thing is, we don't get in all the time. But okay, so that's that. And this has been a relatively short video, but I do wanted to talk to you guys about that. That was a great question, Pat. Thank you very much. Okay, there we go.